I think we've got to get back to rock and roll, not Chaz and Dave chimney sweeping music.
Who's from the Daily Star? I'll take this. Thanks. There has to be something that comes after us that's so far removed from what we're doing, and it has to go in a different direction. If it doesn't, I'd be quite upset. I'd probably have to do it myself, won't I? I'd probably have to invent a new form of music, just to do my own editing.
Brilliant band of generation, you know. I mean, the things they say mean a lot to me.
All these people are here to see me play the guitar. It doesn't get any better than that. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? So what? You know, they're two arseholes, they won't remember anyway.
I'm more worried about this spot that's developing on my chin here, man. I'm more worried about that. Yeah, we're never going to split up. I can never leave Oasis. I am Oasis, you know what I mean? And I don't think Oasis will ever leave me, so... As long as people want to see it, we'll do it, do you know what I mean?
What a night out, you know. I'm just glad that I'll be able to get tickets.
The gloves were off today in the much-hyped Big Chart Showdown. When the record shop doors opened this morning, battle commenced. The chances are both singles could have been #1 had they been released on separate weeks. But in 1 week, there can only be one winner. For Oasis, the contest is something of a grudge match.
I don't think they're important for the 90s, you know what I mean? I think we've got to get back to rock and roll, not Chaz and Dave chimney sweeping music.
Over breakfast, Damon Albarn, Blur's lead singer, was taking a more cautious approach.
I'm a little nervous about the whole thing, obviously, because I think both bands have really upped the stakes, and someone's going to come out on top and someone's going to come out second. And you know, by the very nature of being in a band, you're always quite competitive, and you want to come top, really.
As far as #1 singles are concerned, Oasis took the lead with Some Might Say earlier this year. As far as who might win this time, Oasis is said to have more hardcore fans, but Blur appeal to a wider audience. Today, lines seem to be drawn along the north-south divide. In London, Blur were favourites.
Blur, if anything, but not Oasis.
Why not?
I just don't think they have much to offer. Blur have got a lot more to offer.
I'm going to buy both the Blur singles.
Are you going to go for Oasis at all?
Next week.
Oh, why is that?
Because I'm a big Blur fan, I want them to get to #1.
In Manchester, the reverse was true.
I think Oasis, definitely. Because I like the Manchester bands, I like the Stone Roses. So Oasis, definitely.
I think Oasis, because they're a Manchester band and we're the best.
We're going through a really good time at the moment as far as singles are concerned. Last year was the first year for 10 years when there were 5 platinum singles. This year we're already at 4 platinum singles. If both of these end up going platinum, which is quite a possibility, you know, we're on our way for our best score for a long time.
We're all fans of the band, you know, we like Blur and we like Oasis, so there was that natural enthusiasm, so that enabled us to cast aside the hype from the record companies and actually say, well, here are 2 actually very good, very talented bands, so we should give them the exposure that they both, you know, deserve.
Scene 1, a band rehearses in smoky rooms in King's Cross, but this band has a string section, because this band is Oasis, minus singer Liam Gallagher. Oasis albums have gone double platinum, but they're a band that have appeared out of nowhere.
18 months ago we were playing at a pub called the Water Rats in King's Cross, and just over a year ago we were playing in the 100 Club.
Scene 2, Earl's Court, empty of seats, is filled with the sound of preparations for a huge pop concert.
In little more than 24 hours, this vast, echoing, cavernous space at Earl's Court will be filled with 13,500 Oasis fans. 6,500 more will be up on the balconies for the biggest ever indoor concert in this country.
40,000 tickets for the weekend gigs were sold out in 2 days.
The atmosphere will definitely sort of soak up through the building, and everybody should have a splendid concert.
And everyone's coming to the splendid concert.
It's who isn't coming, basically.
Tony Blair.
Tony Blair's
He's
coming. Madonna, Alex Higgins, Georgie Best, Oliver Reed. Yeah, us two
Jimmy
coming.
White.
Famed for their Mancunian dislike of soft southerners, they actually have one lurking in drummer Alan White from Blackheath, but they're training him.
Yeah. I'm getting there. And I watch Coronation Street now and again.
We're trying to get him off the whelks and the jelly deals, but onto some bloody pie and mash.
And when you're as big as Oasis, pre-gig nerves just don't figure, do they?
I'm more worried about this spot that's developing on my chin here, man. I'm more worried about that. You wouldn't be human if you weren't nervous. I mean, of course we'll be nervous. And we'll be sort of sat on the side of the stage about 2 minutes before we're going on, and we'll be going...
It's just Noel's way of joking with it, saying he burgled houses and he done this and the other. It's just, slip of the tongue.
They've compared themselves to the Beatles and live up to the image of the wild men of rock. Oasis are pop music's bad boys, but until now their behaviour hasn't attracted the interest of the police. In an interview with a music magazine, however, songwriter Noel Gallagher allegedly admitted he and others used to break the law. What people have got to understand is we're lads, he supposedly said. We have burgled houses and nicked car stereos, and we like girls and we swear. But according to Mum Margaret, the alleged boasts are just Noel being naughty.
I'm not really surprised because it's just Noel's way of joking with it. Sort of April Fool thing, just saying he burgled houses and he done this and the other, which is just, slip of the tongue.
The police in the band's hometown of Manchester, however, don't think it's funny and say they'll be investigating the report. Chris Roberts, ITN.
It's a few hundred metres long, has several thousand legs, and much of it was looking like it hadn't been to sleep for a couple of years. The common or garden species of Oasis Q was spotted today on the streets of London. These fans may not have been exactly lively, but they were happy to apply their intellects to the vexed question of what it is about Oasis that's made them such a cultural phenomenon.
Because, they are, aren't they?
A brilliant band of generation, I mean, the things they say mean a lot to me.
Oh, they're the best. I like their music.
Is this a cue for Oasis?
Oh,
I thought it was Take That. Oasis play Knebworth in August, and before you scoff, remember these boys sold £2 million worth of tickets today in the time it took most people to do their Saturday morning shopping. In the West End, this is Paul Moss for London Tonight.
They came to settle the arguments once and for all. It was the Blur versus Oasis football match. Damon out of Blur and Liam out of Oasis facing each other on the pitch. It was all part of the music industry's Soccer 6 tournament, raising money for Nordoff Robbins Music Therapy at Mile End Stadium. Also playing in other matches were Jarvis Cocker out of Pulp and Robbie Williams.
Thing is, I'm really hungover from last night anyway, so it's balancing up, innit, really? It's Harry of the doggy.
The question is, of course, have the crowd come to see a display of exceptional football skills? Well, frankly, no. Of course not. They've just come to see pop stars in football shorts. Blur or Oasis, which is it?
Blur. Blur.
Are you interested in the football?
No!
I didn't think so somehow. Unfortunately, Damon out of Blur was too shy to do any interviews, and the nearest Liam out of Oasis came was to steal the sponge off a reporter's microphone. But for some fans, just the sight of Liam proved to be too much. But what was the result of Blur versus Oasis? The Southern Softies versus the Northern Hardmen. The result was Blur 2, Oasis 0. Not such a bunch of softies after all. At Mile End Stadium, this is Vince Rogers for London Tonight.
Who's from the Daily Star? I'll take this. There has to be something that comes after us that's so far removed from what we're doing, and it has to go in a different direction. If it doesn't, I'd be quite upset. I'd probably have to do it myself, won't I? I'd probably have to invent a new form of music, just to do my own editing.
Did you ever think it was going to get this big?
I'd be a liar if I said yeah. Liam would probably say, I thought it was going to get bigger than that. But I didn't think it was going to get this big. Nobody thought that one day we'd have sold 10 million albums and we would have been playing to 250,000 people over 2 days. Anyone that said that they did believe that's a liar, because we didn't. We thought we might play to we thought when we done Earl's Court, which was 20,000, it was like, and they were the biggest indoor gigs ever in Europe. So it was like, we thought, well, this is probably as big as it's going to get. And we done Main Road, which was 40,000. And it was like, well, fair enough. And then it's 125,000. It's just, but I don't know where it's going to go from. We'll probably play Hyde Park next to some 500,000 people or something.
There have been rock concerts at Knebworth before, but never, it is claimed, quite on this scale. The Rolling Stones, Led Zeppelin, Genesis and Queen all played here in the 70s and 80s, but never 2 nights in a row. According to the band's management, such was the demand for tickets, Oasis could have played here for a fortnight with 125,000 people every night. Setting up the site took 2 weeks. The photographers were invited in last Friday for the ritual meeting with the band. Oasis came up the hill and played this, as if it was the OK Corral.
Who's from the Daily Star? I'll take this.
We're not really that bad, but it's just that everybody else is so boring that we look bad. I mean, you know, when we done that thing at the Brits, it was like, I think we sort of swore twice on the telly, and then we got called a national disgrace. And I mean, if this country's so stuck up that you know, people do actually swear. You know, honestly, they do. My mum swears all the time.
Looking forward to the show? No. Yeah. No? Not at all.
Might pull it. What's your big...
All police leave in Hertfordshire was cancelled for the weekend, and a special police video was circulated. The police called it Operation Gold, and as it happens, Oasis fans turned out to be as good as. There were just 10 arrests over the weekend. The fans seem to come from everywhere, from the band's hometown, Manchester, from Sheffield and York, from Newcastle and Norwich, from Littlehampton and Luton. The ticket sales alone for Knebworth generated over £5.5 million. And then there was the merchandising. The band sold about 150,000 T-shirts over the weekend. As soon as the gates opened, it was a race down the hill to the front pen closest to the stage. This was still 2.5 hours before the show began, some 9 hours before they'd get to hear Oasis.
Just different to anyone else that's around. I mean, I know there's a lot of copycat bands now, but when they first arrived, they were just so different for anything. I mean, we had all dance music and stuff, and they just play their instruments and write good songs. Attitude, the lot. It's wicked.
Just quality, really.
Brilliant front man. The music's so simple, it's just really easy to listen to and stuff.
It's the culture as much as anything, isn't it, really?
What do you regard as being the culture?
Lager, cigarettes.
Alcohol. Best singer, best songwriter, best band.
How old are you?
14.
How old are you?
14. All of us
14.
14.
All of you are 14?
Yeah.
Is this all your first concert?
Yeah.
And you chose Oasis?
Yeah.
At Knebworth, most of the fans were under 25. If Oasis's initial fan base was laddish, it's now expanded. There were dance acts on the bill here. Oasis's appeal is apparently broad enough to include those into dance music, the dominant sound of the last few years.
There's been a change in the climate that's actually happened over the last couple of years, spearheaded by Oasis, where you can actually walk into a club now. We've got the Chemical Brothers playing, and they're very closely linked with the band as well, and yet they're an out-and-out club band. It all falls back to one thing: fantastic songs.
Obviously one of the best bands Britain's produced in the last 20 years. They're sexy, they're young, they're of the people, as opposed to, you know, they're of the people and from the people, as opposed to the sort of rock bands or groups that come along that sort of look down on everybody. And I think that they, very much like the Mondays and the Stone Roses before them, that they, even though they're not They don't play dance music or anything. They embrace club culture. They fit with everybody. So it doesn't really matter what sort of music you're into. Oasis sort of work.
All the marketing that we do is always very ground level. It's always fly posting, press advertising. They've got a huge fan base, a huge database of fans of 350,000 who are regularly kept in touch with all that's going on with the band, live dates, releases. It's all, you know, it's all kept at the ground level, and everything else it kind of flows from there, basically.
The Oasis boast is that they're the best new rock band in the world. But as the band knows, like a candle, popularity in the rock music business can be short-lived.
Yeah, it's nice, but you know, I don't think we'll ever be as popular as the Beatles on a global scale. The gig is just, it's one night or it's two nights, and it's an experience, and you experience it as it's happening, and then it's over. Whereas a record is something you buy on the shelf and you can take it home and it lasts for as long as you last. And you grow up with it, and then you grow old with it. We can't be the be-all and end-all of music, surely we don't. There has to be something that comes after us that's so far removed from what we're doing, and it has to go in a different direction. If it doesn't, I'd be quite upset. I'll probably have to do it myself, won't I? You know what I mean? Because everyone's so lazy and they can't have their asses do anything. I'll probably have to invent a new form of music just to do my own heading.
Last night's concert at Knebworth was carried live on radio stations in 40 different countries around the world. If the British tabloid press didn't like the show, the fans on the ground did, and for many of them, it was a night to remember.
We get a question then from Paul Stokes. There you go.
Hello, Noel. Paul from the Enemy.
All right, mate.
How are you?
Yes, very well.
You were the last British band to play Wembley because we don't count top loading and say shit.
Yes, of course.
How's it feel to be back?
It's good. It's quite a big gaff, but it's the first time I've ever been through the door actually. But I've not been to a concert here yet. But yeah, it's a great British venue, isn't it? You know, I guess it's going to be great. I would assume so, anyway. Yeah.
Do you think you beat Man City?
Yeah, they're not going to get here this year. But we were walking on thinking we could afford 565 million of these. Do you know what I mean? So, but yeah, I can't see City getting here this year. So we'll probably again we'd be representing Man City at all stadiums around the country, I think.
John Earls had a question.
No, the Eaton Park is an unusual venue to play. How did that come about? And did you actually know that you've been there at all?
I think the last person to play there was the Pope in 1980. Could have been 1982. It's been stagnant for a few years. Seemed a shame just to let it sit there doing that. And the fact that I think the new we had a few gigs booked in at Man City Stadium, and I think the new owners have said there's no need to play concerts there anymore because obviously we don't need the money. And we said, yeah, but neither do we, but we're just doing it for a laugh, you know what I mean? But so that was the next suitable venue. The obvious one would have been to go to Old Trafford, but ain't gonna happen.
Did you go and see the Pope when he played?
I supported him, yeah. I was on for. You wouldn't have seen me. I was on for the first 45 minutes, just doing stand-up. Yeah, no, just doing stand-up, religious gags, you know. Didn't go down too well.
Thanks, John. Damien Jones, Radio 1, got a question.
All right, I believe you have a Kasabian in the Enemy.
Yeah.
Why did you choose them, and how does it feel to miss a penalty at Wembley?
I meant that. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Let me see, Kasabian. Well, Kasabian, we toured with them in the States a couple of years ago, and we've since become quite close to them. So we always said when we were doing the big super gigs again, which this kind of run of gigs are going to be, we would kind of give them first option. And as they're going to have an album out, it kind of fits perfectly. And The Enemy I've liked since I heard their first ever single, and I think with the three bands on the one night, if I was 16 or 17, I'd be here. You know, I think these gigs are going to be easily the gigs of next year, if not the decade. You know, for a certain demographic of the population. So I think it's going to be. I'm actually really made up at the bill, and when you see it written in front of you, what a night out. You know, I'm just glad that I'll be able to get tickets.
Is Steve from Sky News here?
Yeah, hi Noel. Just wondering how you and Liam sort of go about it. You've obviously played shows like this before, but do you approach them any differently?
Well, we never, you know, the first kind of stadium we done was at Main Road in Manchester, and it never felt, for some reason, it never felt daunting to play to 40,000 people then. It just, you can't sit and think about things like that. You know, some bands will sit in the dressing room and quake in their boots, do you know what I mean? We're kind of from the other end of the spectrum. We're like, all these people are here to see me play the guitar. It doesn't get any better than that. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? You so what? You know, they're two arseholes, they won't remember anyway. You know what I mean? So, gigs like this, like life itself, is there to be lived and enjoyed, and if you can't enjoy them, then, you know, you might as well just aim for the Astoria and leave it at that. These are what it's all about. This is what it's all about. These are the gigs that go down in people's memories, and this is where people will meet future wives and all that kind of gear. Do you know what I mean? It was like the day we were doing Knebworth, people were, you know, it was the biggest thing that had ever happened, you know, and people were kind of whispering it backstage as though you weren't allowed to say it. I was kind of like, come on, this is it, you know, this is it. And it's here and it's now, you know, and I give thanks that we're going to be headlining it, you know, and not just some heritage act on before a load of young kids. So we're bang up for it. Liam, on the other hand, was himself.
Thank you. Jonathan, GMTV, you had a question?
Just ask what you make of the latest crop of musical talent out there, particularly the likes of X Factor, dare I say it?
Well, it's not. I mean, I always comes across that I'm putting X Factor contestants down, and I'm not. Who would deny the right to kids to kind of better their own lives and all that? But it's not really about the music, is it? You know, people from Bradford singing in American accents is not really what it's all about. But yeah, it's a word, isn't it, to be honest, you know. But it's kind of who's got the biggest sob story this year, isn't it? You know, oh, my cat died, you know, and his outstretched paw was pointing at the letter X on Pool's keeping. So I've come here today, Simon. I've come here today. I'm going to sing What's New, Pussycat. You know, come on, do us a favour, get a proper job. You know, and the way Simon Cowell always says, you know, you are what this contest is all about. No, it's not. It's about you. It's not about them. But I do say my 8-year-old daughter enjoys watching it. Particularly, I think it was last week when some girl band come on and said they were going to do Wonderwall by Ryan Adams, which is brilliant. My 8-year-old went, oh. And I was like, no, I did write it. I assure you, I did write it. He's going, who's Ryan Adams? I was like, he's a friend of Dad's. But yeah, it's a sign of the the culture which we live in, I guess.
Someone from BBC News, I'm afraid I don't have your name.
Dan McMillan, BBC News.
Dan, sorry.
You got released a free download called I Believe in All, is that right?
We have we? I think, have we?
What do you think about free downloads and giving music away?
I wouldn't give an album away for free. You know, a free singer, is that correct? Is that true? He's from my management, he's himself now because he's not told me about it. But I think if it is, I noticed that it's one of Liam's songs. I'm not giving any of mine away for nothing, you know. But if we are giving it away for free, then good. But we wouldn't give like an album away for free, you know. I think like $9.99 or whatever it is for an album these days, or you know, however much it is on the internet. I don't know, £7. I think that's pretty much. I'd go with that. That's enough. That's enough for me to keep the swimming pool full of mineral water. Wouldn't you think?
Do you worry about the future of the industry?
I don't give a about the industry. Well, we're kind of self-contained now. We don't. The industry itself is in the because it kind of got too big, and major record labels are like with these big sprawling corporations that have had to take a hit because there's too many people working for them. A bit of downsizing is good anyway, I think, you know. But I think eventually the music industry will land at a place where it should have been all along, which is leaner and meaner and more about the music and less about the product and the razzmatazz. Do you know what I mean? You don't know what I mean, do you? You do know what I mean, don't you? Okay. Well, I think it's been coming for a long time, but I don't think it's hit the bottom yet. But it's good in a way. Do you know what I mean? And if anything's come out of this current climate, his records are cheaper. Can't argue with that, can you?
Afternoon.
Hello there.
You've had a look at the pitch now, and it's the first time that you've played here since 2000. Have you had to think about the staging of it? I mean, you could possibly do this gig in the round, couldn't you?
Yeah, that's Rod Stewart gear, though, isn't it? I think, no, we'll be doing it in the traditional sense. There'll be a stage at one end and there'll be a bar at the other. And in between the middle, you don't want to get involved in if you're over 25. You know, if you're over 25, get up in the stands, you know. But I don't really think about the staging aspect of it. That's for people who get paid an extraordinarily amount of money to come up with stage shows. I never see it anyway. I'm kind of facing the audience, which is what I'd rather look at. You know, I'd rather look at 80,000 people on a night out than, you know, a load of wizards flashing lights behind you. That's not really interesting for me. I'm sure it's interesting for the people in the stands, but it's not something I don't really get involved in it. As long as there's big moving footage of me playing the guitar every now and again, that's all right.
What's your memories of the last time you played?
The second night was quite monumental because Liam had been out and with a Spice Girl, right? With a Spice Girl the night before, and ended up not bothering to go to bed, and it was going out live across Europe to don't know how many millions of people, and it was I think it was the first stand-up gig ever here, wasn't it? If I remember correctly, it was the first comedy performance in the old Wembley, but the first night was great and the second night was quite skin-crawlingly excruciating. To be on stage. Was I annoyed with him? Yeah. No, not at all. I was brilliant. You know, how can I get annoyed with him? It's as much his band as it is mine, you know. But no, not annoyed with him. We've never mentioned it since that day. It's quite funny, you know. It's all over YouTube though. It's brilliant. Pardon?
I remember calling someone a tea bag.
It's really not the worst insult you could throw at somebody though, is it? You know. Yeah.
So Lucy from London Tonight, you have a question. Lucy here?
Yes, here. Are you tempted to play headline Glastonbury next year?
I think when Michael Eavis reads this press release, he'll himself. I wouldn't go to Glastonbury, would you?
Yeah.
Would you? Why, is R. Kelly playing? I wouldn't go, I wouldn't bother. This is where it's going to be at next summer, I'd have thought. But we said the last time that we'd done Glastonbury, we've never really pulled it off at Glastonbury, I don't think. I think the first year we played, when we were on that second stage at 2 in the afternoon, was the best. We always blow the big gigs. We always somehow manage to George Best it. And I think that the first time we headlined it, we played too many songs off Morning Glory which hadn't been released then. I mean, looking back, when you look at the set list, it's colossal, but nobody had heard Champagne Supernova and Don't Look Back in Anger and all the songs that we played. And I think the last time we had scrapped an album that was supposed to come out the week of that festival, so it was a bit of a damp squib, I think you people call it, didn't you? And but Glastonbury, I've always said this about Glastonbury, it's great to be at, but it's not really great for people like us to play at, because you don't go on till 11 o'clock at night, and all the people that you're with by 5 to 11 are absolutely battered. So by the time you get off at 12:30, you're just playing catch up all night and trying to make sense of what your girlfriend's saying. You know, and you just kind of, I don't understand what you're saying anymore. You know, but I think it's better to be at than to play at. I think that was always my opinion anyway.
Just to move it along a bit, AP have a question. I don't know where you are in the room. Sorry.
Hello.
Hello.
Do you have any rituals before you go on stage? Or what will you do?
Yes. Yes, of course. We slaughter, goats and fry mushrooms. No, we're not one of those. We've seen that happen. Bands do the band hug and all that kind of thing. The first band we ever seen do it was Travis, and we were like, what the f*** are you doing? It's fucking mental. They all got in a little huddle and done a little jig. And we've never been once for that. We never even wish each other good luck on the way up the stairs to the stage, or we never mention it afterwards. You know, we never mention good gig or bad gig. It's kind of, I don't know. It's just a strange. We're northern men, do you know what I mean? And we enjoy ourselves in silence and suffer in silence. You know, we never really. We always do to the new drummer, because there's always a new drummer. Enjoy yourself, lad. It'll probably be your last gig. You know, that kind of thing. But other than that, it's a strange relationship we have in the band. It would freak most people out. There's not a lot of talking.
Okay, so given that Noel is a little busy this afternoon with Wembley, is there one last brilliant question relating to the summer tour, the summer control? Clearly not, then.
Can I ask
Brilliant.
about your proms?
Oh, yes.
Tell us about your plans for your performance.
We're doing it with the Crouch End Choir. It's a 150-piece choir, but we can only get 50 on the stage. And I think they're going to do 7 songs. I've already had a rehearsal with them in somebody's kitchen in Muswell Hill. You want to see the size of this kitchen? It sounds quite. Well, it sounds, because Oasis songs, the big ones, are kind of like hymns anyway, do you know what I mean? So it's quite celestial in places and quite ridiculous in others. But it's going to be great. They're kind of made up that they've been allowed to wear their own clothes, which is because people usually make them all wear black and do that silly dance, you know, that choirs do. But I'm really looking forward to it. It's just it's a pity it's going to be such a small gig, you know, but we might try and get the choir out for these gigs, I guess.
Are you excited about playing the Roundhouse?
I guess it's one more list or venue off the list, but I've not. It's not particularly been wow, we must get us at the Roundhouse, you know what I mean? But I guess it'll be great to be playing in Camden, of all places. I haven't played in Camden I don't think we've ever played in Camden. I've had a few nights in the Marathon Bar, but that's about it. But it'll be great. It'll be great to be there and be home in 20 minutes after the show. That'll be the best one. Quick shower and shave and then out again.
Okay, folks. One last question.
Hi, it's Liam from the Sun. Liam from the Sun, calling passing regards.
I am not having an affair with Madonna, before you ask.
I'll tell him.
Okay.
I know you talked about Glastonbury already, but I think he's sending a ticket to Michael Eavis.
No. I only joke when I say things about that. Me and Michael are I was actually speaking to Michael about 6 weeks ago, and Emily. No, I like. It's like I said before. The last time we done Glastonbury, if anybody wants to check on the internet, they will find a quote from me saying I don't think we'd ever do it again, because I think Oasis music is best experienced with. I don't think the festival. There's something weird about that festival. There's not enough speakers in that field, and it tends to be quite a quiet festival. But no. I won't be. Well, Michael will be busy, I would have thought, anyway, wouldn't he? I'm actually having an affair with Guy Ritchie. Anyway, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, we're never going to split up. You know, as long as people want to see it, we'll do it. Do you know what I mean? I can never leave Oasis. I am Oasis. Do you know what I mean? And I don't think Oasis will ever leave me. So it's all paper talking. It.
Hey, no. Nick from London Tonight. You're right.
Yeah. Come on down. We'll do it down here.
So we're going to do London Tonight first.
Alright. No, first impressions of the new Wembley Stadium.
Oh, it's amazing. But then again, it should be for all the money to spend on it and the time it costs. Yeah.
What about as a gig venue?
Well, I've heard good things. I've never seen a gig here, but all my people have been to concerts and said it's be amazing. But it looks like it's going to be good. It's quite tall, and the old place was kind of quite flat and wide. It could be a bit lifeless, but I'm hoping it's going to be great tonight.
Because you played the old Wembley, didn't you? Was it back in 2000?
We were the last British band ever to play there. Yeah.
How's the tour been going? Hasn't been overshadowed by Michael Jackson's day.
I'd rather not comment on that. It's been going great, you know. I mean, all our tours are, I don't know, they follow much the same pattern. It's all, you know, it seems to be a gathering of the working classes. You know, it's all good. We had a few hiccups in Manchester, but you know, it's.
But this is the most number of people you've played to on a stadium tour in the UK for some time, isn't it?
Combined?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did it beat Knebworth?
I'd have thought so. Well, Knebworth was 125. I don't know what's this tonight.
Well, you're doing more than 250,000 over 3 days at Wembley. So.
Yeah.
It's all numbers, is it? So, there's been a lot of rumours, bookies saying that this might be the last Oasis tour.
It's nonsense.
Where does that come from then?
I don't know. People make comments in the press all the time, wouldn't put any stock in any of it.
So you can nail that rumour on London tonight?
Yeah, we're never going to split up.
You're going to end up like the Rolling Stones?
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah, what's like Neil Young on the stage pushing 70 at Glastonbury?
You know, as long as people want to see it, we'll do it, do you know what I mean? And I think I speak for the rest of the band, we all really enjoy being in the studio and making music. But yeah, you know, people kind of take comments that people make and twist them and all that. But you know, I mean, apparently there's kind of bets in the bookies.
Yeah, so what? That's what I'm saying. 2 to 1 by October. There's no more Oasis.
I could make a fortune by putting $500,000 on myself to leave and then leave for a week or something. But no, see, I could never leave Oasis. I am Oasis. You know what I mean? And I don't think Oasis will ever leave me. So it's all paper talking it.
Not tempted to continue your radio presenting career? Because I can see you and Russell Brand as kind of like the Richard and Judy show on telly or something.
We are. Who would be who though?
Well,
he would definitely have to be Judy.
I think you'd get first dibs.
He'd have to be Judy, wouldn't he? We are. I think there's talk of us doing something else sort of, around the next World Cup. I think on the radio.
You're starting to do other things, aren't you? Just wondering whether.
Well, I've always done other things. You know, I've had #1 singles with other artists and stuff like that with the Chemical Brothers and stuff. But it's nice to do other things. It makes you appreciate this, if you know what I mean. You know, when you see, for instance, working with Ian Brown and people like that, and seeing how they work, makes you appreciate, you know, the level that you've got to. I think so. It's nice to do other things. I'm thinking of taking up maybe ventriloquism after the tour as well. I've quite fancied that.
Big fan of any ventriloquists?
Well, no, children's entertainment is something I've kind of looked into a bit. I mean, there's nothing better than a captive room full of kids, eh?
It's a big market.
Well, I'll tell you what, £50 a day you get for that.
Could be on to Michael Jackson again. Sorry, but speaking of this venue, you've got 3 nights here, and then you're going to the Roundhouse to do the iTunes Festival, a free gig in a tiny little venue. You still like doing things like that?
I don't mind the Roundhouse. If we've done it before for the proms, I don't mind the electric proms. I don't mind that. I wouldn't like the real small gigs. We've done a gig at the beginning of this tour in Germany for like 600 fans. It was horrible. You know, they start kind of talking to you in between the songs and stuff. They're kind of this close to you, and they start talking to you.
You don't want to see the whites of their eyes? You don't feed off that kind of...
No, I want them to buy merchandise and get out. That's it. I'm not really interested in having a conversation with them.
Actually, here we are at the home of Wembley, the home of the FA England team, John Terry. Any chance of him going to Man City? What do you think? It's still big news. He hasn't actually come out and said.
I wouldn't want him. He's a crybaby.
Yeah?
Yeah, he's a whinge bag, isn't he?
Decent player, though.
He cries. He's got funny eyes.
Do you think he'd be a useful addition to the City team?
Don't need him. We don't need him. If we get Tevez, that'll be enough for me. I think all the talk of Eto'o and John Terry is a bit silly, do you know what I mean? I can't see John Terry coming to play for Man City. Whether he's trying to angle for a new contract or not, I don't know. But
how do you think you go down with the City fans?
Nah. It's Cockney anyway, isn't he?
Not going to happen.
Don't like Cockneys.
I think we've pretty much covered everything. I'll just have a quick recap in my head.
Yeah, go on.
I think that's pretty much it. Just in terms of, Wembley itself. When you play Wembley, or the idea of a gig this size, do you ever get the nerves, or is it all just water off a duck's back now?
Well, it's not. I wouldn't be as arrogant to say that you don't. It's water off a duck's back. You know, look at it. But I kind of prefer the bigger gigs as a spectacle. You know, but I wouldn't.
Bigger gigs.
Yeah, the bigger the better for me. But I love it, you know, because there's nothing better than seeing 60,000, 70,000 people on a night out, you know, going mental to your songs. But
you got any surprises planned?
There might be a bit of juggling.
Ventriloquism.
Well, apparently Take That were here the other night. They were all on unicycles. I think Liam might have a little clown's bike this evening. But no surprises. Well, there is no surprise anymore anyway with the internet and all that, isn't there? Do you know what I mean? Everybody kind of knows what set you do. But just hope everybody has a good time and there's no trouble, you know, and everybody gets home safely.
Have you got a wet weather plan? It's going to kick it down on Saturday, apparently.
Is it really? Won't affect me in the slightest, so I'm all right.
All right, Noel, thanks very much. Nice to
very
meet you.
much.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Cheers.